Hi, I'm Melinda Van Fleet, and welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach podcast. I'm an author, speaker, and success coach who helps women believe in themselves, build confidence, and take action. In 2009, my husband Ryan and I were laid off at the same time, and we moved to the Florida Keys without jobs, not knowing anyone, hardly any money, and we never even been here. But we made it. And now, not every day is sunshine and rainbows, but we're living our best lives. All along in our journey, I've always said that someday when we get our shit together, we will help others. So each week, my intent is to be relatable and bring you tactical tips, tools, share my learnings and stories that can help inspire or transform you wherever you are in your career or general life and make an impact. I strongly believe that if I can do it, you can do it too. So what's stopping you? Real quick, before we begin, I am super excited about the release of my first book, Confidence Mastery for Couples, a roadmap to a more intimate relationship. And this book releases March 9th. Stay tuned for more about it and other confidence-related books that I will be releasing every 3 months. And I'm going to put a link to my website in the show notes. Now on to the podcast. Thanks in advance for listening.
Welcome to the Good Karma Sportfishing podcast. I'm your host, Captain Ryan Van Fleet.
And welcome to the Good Karma Success Coach podcast. I'm your host, Melinda Van Fleet. Well, almost February on Monday.
I know this month went by really quick.
Really quick.
Really quick.
Even for a long month, really quick.
Yeah, for a long month. It actually went by. I would consider January one of my least favorite months, and just because it gets cold, but that's it.
And it's been cold.
And it's lots of cold
for lots
fronts.
of people everywhere.
But I would say compared to Januaries in the past, I would put this at on a scale of 1 to 10. I would probably put it at about a 7.5 compared to what I've seen in the past.
For fishing, you mean?
Fishing wise, meaning that it's just been 7.5 is pretty good for me when it comes to rankings. So compared to Januaries in the past, so I think it's been all right. That's
good. It's good you keep a log of all these things. And I know you talk to your audience about keeping a log, especially guys in the Facebook group.
Yeah, logs are extremely important. I remember I've mentioned in the podcast before when I had the pleasure of meeting Jose Wahabi, before he passed, he really stressed fishing logs. And that's one thing I really took to heart. And he was right.
Wow.
So it's cool.
Yeah, and maybe that's what's happening to me with all my millions of journals and all my thoughts that I continue to have. I keep writing down in journals so that they're kind of like my fishing logs.
Yeah, journals. Yeah, journaling is an awesome tool. I mean, you go back, you look at stuff. And
I have tons of notes, and I'll be so glad as I work on more books to have all these journals, right?
Yeah.
Every time we have a story, or I have a story, or I have a thought, I write it down in the journal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's like if you have an idea that comes up while you're driving, I hit record on my phone, or I try not to do that while I'm driving, but I try to I've even stopped and pulled alongside the stop my truck in a parking lot or somewhere if I have a thought, and I'll record that, because if those kind of things come on you, when they come on you quick, you got to take advantage of them, because just like that, they're gone.
Yeah.
So it's just how things work.
Yeah. So that's also a business tip for anyone out there. If you have business ideas or things coming to you, the more you get in the practice of doing that, whether it's like Ryan said, recording on your phone, you can take a note on your phone, write it in a journal, sticky note, all those things, that more and more really awesome business ideas or just ideas in general will come to you. It's actually quite an amazing process that happens via the universe and the force.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. You'll be driving out there on your boat, and all of a sudden you'll look down. Let's say, for example, I remember this was happened a few years ago. We were out there, and I thought something was wrong, that I got caught in the prop, and nothing was really wrong. And I looked up, and I looked at my screen, and I was like, it was lit up with fish in the middle of nowhere. I grabbed my phone. I took a picture of the coordinates, because I just didn't have time to punch in man overboard and stuff, and things just happen. And that's one of those things. Yeah. So everything happens for a reason.
Yep.
So,
all these fabulous things Well, that kind of segues into everything happens for a reason, because you have a good story to tell from this week. And one of the things that we talk about a lot, and I actually have a few chapters in my upcoming book, Confidence Mastery for Couples, A Roadmap to a More Intimate Relationship. And that book comes out March 9th on Amazon. And I have chapters in the book on boundaries, values, communication, teamwork, and support. And this book is really something that I wanted to get out in the world, because Ryan and I have been through so much in our almost 15 years together. And, we just want to help others, which is why we do this podcast, right? Why I do both my podcasts, Good Karma Success Coach and Confident Conversations, and Ryan does Good Karma Sportfishing podcast. It's truly, we don't have any sponsors yet on our podcast. And for me, it's almost 2 years. Ryan's been over 2 years. So if you just look at it from a simple nuts and bolts standpoint, yeah, we're obviously doing this to help others, right?
Right.
So I was like, oh my gosh, we have so many stories to share. And I really felt there was this missing piece out there of someone sharing their stories as a couple in just a really easy, relatable way. If you know me, you know I don't have a PhD. I don't have a bunch of letters next to my name. I'm just a normal girl from the south side of Chicago. And Ryan's just a normal dude from East Moline who happens to like to fish probably a little more than normal. We won't go there. So anyhow, so when I wrote this book, that was what I wanted to get across, is just some relatable stories that are kind of funny with a lot of aha moments, a lot of teachings, just woven into the fabric of the book. And I'm just really excited to start to share more about that with everyone in knowing that the release is coming up March 9th. So yeah, a little over a month.
Yeah, it's a really good book. Some of the things you're going to read in there is I was a little bit leery about. But I hope it helps people. So
you've come a long way, baby.
Yeah,
that's like a cigarette commercial from when we were kids. Yeah. So if you all are younger, you probably haven't heard that before. But
yeah, a long ways.
A long ways, and I'm very proud of you.
Yep, a long ways.
So this past week, you had a call. Which there's nothing wrong with the call. I just think that it's amazing to share a little bit, because like I said, there was nothing wrong with the call. It was nothing negative or anything like that. But it's just when you get to a certain place, you really need to be aware of what your boundaries are, how you wish to be valued. And that's not even just money. That's just like in general. And if this is a business related thought process or topic, let's say, what lane your business is in, what's your business model, who is your target customer, and you have to be confident and stand tall in that, not waver, because wavering isn't good. Wavering back and forth will send you down a rabbit hole of mind loops and, oh, I wish I didn't do that, and oh my God, I knew better. So if you can get stronger in understanding what your boundaries are and what your values are and how you wish to be treated and what lane you want to be in your life, then those things will start to magically happen in terms of like better things coming your way as you say no to the things that don't fit into that mold. So Ryan has taken a lot of time over the years to really figure that out, to really kind of understand, who do I want as fishing clients? What type of people do I want in my community? What do I want to share on the podcast? What do I want to share in the fishing report? And really taking the time to think through all those things and recognize them. So I will be quiet now and pass it to Ryan.
Yeah, it's interesting. I sometimes struggle with explaining these types of things that happen, but I've just learned for myself is that knowledge is
Valuable.
Knowledge is extremely valuable. I'm a billionaire in knowledge. That's how I look at myself. And that's how anybody with a unique skill should look at themselves. Now, from time to time, I get calls, and it's just been it's something new that I've been getting a lot of is folks that are really wanting to, what's the word for it? I'm trying to think.
It's kind of like they want to skip over the learning and just have the result.
Then have the results.
That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, they just want to skip it all. And we
want the result now.
We want the results now.
That's not possible.
And then they use dollars in front of me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the new thing. They use dollars in front of me. And a lot of this stuff I hear all the time, and I'm like, yeah. And that's one thing I learned from a couple old fishing guys is you're going to have guys that are going to try to,
throw money at
me and
play an ego trip game.
Play ego trips. And I don't get into any of that. So I've worked really hard to learn what I've learned. And I can't share a lot of stuff. So it's because I can't really explain it. That's another thing. But I got a call, and it was very interesting. So let's just say that I turned the business down, and it just amazes me the type of language folks use, and this whole local knowledge thing just drives me nuts. So that kind of I'm going to book you for local knowledge. So I don't know. But anyway, so I made a really, to make a long story short, I turned some business away. I'll continue to do so because knowledge to me is extremely important. And that is very valuable to me. And I'm not going to just give that away on a fishing charter.
And we also operate, I believe, from a place of respect.
Yeah, respect.
And maybe it's how we were raised, so we can give props to our parents.
Yep, old school respect.
Old school, middle class families. Our parents worked very hard, and we've worked very hard.
Yep.
So we value our knowledge at that level because we earned it. We earned it. We worked our asses off, and we figured things out, and we earned it. And if that doesn't fly with somebody, that's okay. You're not our audience. We're cool with that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's really kind of the bottom line with this,
right.
Actually, if you think about it.
Yep.
Is we respect ourselves and we value ourselves and all the time and energy and research and money and time that we've put in for various skill sets. For you, it's the fishing and all the things you do. For me, it's coaching people and writing. And, when I look at our backgrounds, I don't see other people out there in this space with our backgrounds and our skill sets, which also makes us extremely unique. So I hold that as value. That's where that's value to me. I don't look at someone else's profile on LinkedIn and go, oh, she worked at better corporations than I did. I mean, quite frankly, I worked at the top retailers before, and that goes into my, experience.
Yep.
So
I look at it the same way. I mean, I feel the same. We're both on the same page with this. And for me, it's all about getting better and making my clients happy and catching them really nice fish.
Mm-hmm. And that's what you do. That's what you do. And you do that for tourists.
And I do that for tourists. So I do that for tourists that have been fishing with me a long time and people that come and see me. And I do have some other things happening out there. I got different groups and the podcasts. I've got a paid group that I have where I do a once a month webinar style series of teaching guys about rigs and different stuff. And
I have to say, I love that group because I know they all get it.
Every one of those guys gets it.
They get it. They're just on the same page. And that's what I mean. That's when you're building an audience, that's like the golden ticket is when you have, people that you can collaborate with and talk to and just are part of your team, really. It's really a Good Karma Sportfishing team.
Yeah.
And you all kind of get each other. You're all kind of in the same set of values and respect and understanding and respecting the ocean, respecting the fish, how hard it is. They get it. So
yeah, and that's why I've got guys that don't even like live on the ocean, like in the middle of the country, that are part of the group just because they want to learn more about fishing, and eventually someday that they'll own a boat, and they're getting started now because they know eventually someday they'll have a boat and they'll like be able to fish, and then they'll have enough in their background to be successful. So they know the value of knowledge.
Yeah.
So
just like you, I remember sitting in Minneapolis and Ryan watching blue water fishing shows.
I was like, oh my God.
I still want to know that couple that we used to watch.
Oh, I don't remember.
This was a long time ago.
I think what's great is that they're going to bring Jose Wahabi shows back. I think they're going to be on Waypoint TV. And if you guys are out there and you have kids that are into YouTube, I think you guys need to give them a little education and set them down and have them watch those shows and watch the passion behind every one of those episodes. Sit them down from season 1 and make them watch every one of them. Because I know like big YouTubers don't even know who the hell, who Jose is. So if you want to educate people on the love of the ocean and how things are supposed to be, that's a good show to watch. And that's going to come back on Waypoint. So, and I'm excited to see that because finally some good content I'll be able to watch.
I didn't even know that. You just spoke to me. That's awesome.
I'm very excited about that. Finally some good stuff to be able to watch again. So
you should put in the show notes what episode it was that we talked about when we went down to Key West and met him. We'll have to find it.
Yeah, he was a great guy.
Anyhow, so that is our podcast for the week.
Yeah.
For the month, actually. My goodness, for the month.
Yep.
For the month. So just, take some time. Yeah, everyone's so busy. They operate on autopilot, which is really just no good, people. Like, you need to take some time to think and to recognize all the different aspects of your life. So this podcast episode is about standing tall in your boundaries, in your values, and understanding that and drawing a line in the sand, because all those things help build your confidence. And when you're taking actions towards making that happen every day, you're going to get stronger and stronger, and all these other good things are going to come your way. Like, yes, we turned down a client, but 4 more people called him within 24 hours. So you have to really understand what your business model is, what type of relationships you want. And this goes towards someone that maybe is being treated poorly in a relationship. We share these stories and they may have a fishing slant to them, obviously, because that's our business, but they're always relatable in some way, shape, or form to your life. And you can hopefully take some nuggets and have an aha moment and go, oh yeah, this guy I'm dating, he's treating me like shit. Or girl, vice versa. Girls can be just as bad. So that's really all. We just want to convey that and just know that we're here, and please feel free to join my Facebook group, which is Good Karma Vibes, or reach out to me via email, info@melindavanfleet.com, or my website, which is goodkarmasuccesscoach.com, which is obviously the same name as one of my podcasts. I would love to hear from you.
Yeah, and you can follow me on Instagram at Good Karma Sportfishing _FL_keys. And if you'd like to be part of the Good Karma Sportfishing private Facebook group, you can submit a request through, just find it on Facebook. It's the Good Karma Sportfishing podcast Facebook group. It's a private group. You can submit a request to join. And then if you want to know what's happening with the fishing, you got to download the new Good Karma Sportfishing app.
Download the app.
It's available in iTunes and Google Play. I got a lot of cool stuff coming with that. So everything I'm putting on there is to help people get better. So.
And you know what? Honestly, we see the app continuing to grow. Every time I pull up the reporting, So we do really appreciate you guys all downloading the app and using it.
Yeah,
and
it's there to be
we
used.
both had phenomenal podcast months for the month of January. So
people keep finding my podcast.
So,
oh no.
Yeah, both of mine were really, really good months. And Ryan's was like off the charts, crazy good. Like, seriously?
Yeah,
Didn't know there was that many people in the world that like fishing. So.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody's like wants to listen.
Or maybe
that
they
bad.
just want to listen to you, which is awesome.
Oh my God, help me! God help them.
Hi. So we'll have a great month of February. I'll sign off on our joint podcast.
Yep. Thank you guys. And Facebook Live. I look forward to seeing the people in the group there. 7 p.m. Saturday. Or Sunday. 7 p.m. Sunday Eastern.
So if you're listening to this on January 31st, 2021, that's the Facebook Live Ryan's talking about. It'll be January Sunday at 7 p.m. if you're in the group. So.
Yep, that's it.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.